Hello and welcome. So you might be asking yourself what we're doing today other than shaking the camera around a lot. That should be a clue. So should the title of the video. Today, this video, you already know the answer, handbrake cable. Seizing up in old age. Handbrake cable is seized. So we have a new one, which much better. So now we know it's a handbrake cable. What's it for? Well, the answer, the good old Vauxhall Vivaro Renault Trafic, any which one of those you want to call it, really. These have obviously already taken the old one off. They are a little awkward. So I thought I'd make this video and bring you along. Now, the reason it's awkward is because I don't know if you can tell on camera, but back in there, and in fact I'm going to try and get you a bit closer, because back in there is the fuel tank, which you have to lower in order to get to this end of this cable. I'm going to see if I can get you guys in there any better. Bear with. You're a little floaty, but you can kind of see till I kick it and then it all falls down. So, this cable comes up over the top of this exhaust here, goes up round the back of this tank. Now, as you can see, I've dropped the tank. So, this bracket here is what this cable goes into. So we have to sneak this and bend it round. And basically get it through the hole, and then at this point you can probably see more than I can. There it is. Yeah, you can see more than I can. So we are trying to pull that cable and clip it into the back of that. Come on. It was a bit awkward to get out, I'll be honest. Not very easy to put back in either. Still not clipped in, but we are part of the way there. Yeah. You can see how this gets a little aggravating. So there it is, just there. Now I've managed to pull it in, but so that's one end. We just need to slip that little rubber protective bit back, even though it was actually the other end that had seized. But that's one side, that's the other side, there they are. Now that is one part of the equation. So if you unclip that, you just push the two little tabs in. Now there's this arrangement, which the two cables hook into, as you can see from the holes there, and this goes through the hole on the chassis rail just above where the torch is. So now you can see the hole just up there. Now the first thing we need to do is get this hooked in. So come back in here, let's hook in the cable that's still attached first because it will be easier. I'm sure this was very easy in the factory before they put the fuel tank on. And then we need to pop the other side down. It says twist it, push it in to get that ball to drop inside there. Everything's just slightly in the way, I'll be honest. Doesn't seem to matter what you do. The arms aren't quite long enough. And everything's in the way. There we go. There we go. So that drops in there like that. Hopefully you can all see. Now we need to put that back. Kick the camera. And put that up through there like that. And then gravity. We'll try and make sure that you're still even looking in the right direction after kicking you, which you are. So that's there. You can just see, if I move you over, there's the thread that we need. So there's the thread up there that we need for this mechanism. Like I say, that yellow bit just pushes in on the two tabs that you have to squeeze to get it out. Now we've got a little nut to go on here. So there's two sections to it. You've got this section, which is like a little sleeve that pushes over first. Like that. And then we've got a nut that goes over the top of that. Now, I cheated. I have extra deep sockets, but if you don't, then you'll have to use a ratchet. Ratchet spanner or a spanner as far as you can. I've got the extra deep sockets, so we'll use them. we go. Now it's sat in the hole where it should be. Now that does adjust the free play on the handbrake cable in the cab, obviously, so the tighter that is, the tighter the handbrake in the front will be. So we can adjust that afterwards, that's not a problem. So if you've got a Vivaro with a handbrake that's a bit strange, you might need to adjust that end. Now what we'll do is we'll bring you down and show you how to route. So the cable comes across the top of here, and basically you have to lower the tank down, because the cables actually sit in the grooves of the tank. So now what I'm going to do before I route this or worry about that is I'm going to jack the tank back up and bolt it back up. We're just going to do that by simply jacking up on our stand here, making sure we haven't trapped the cable, which is exactly what we just did. And then obviously making sure that we didn't trap that one either underneath the fuel tank. Now we can take, there are different size bolts. Those two there, that one there, and this one here. There's also a third one over here. I'll show you these in a second, where they actually go. And then we'll take the larger socket first, and we'll just whiz these back up. So I've got all four, there's actually 5 bolts, 3 of them I took out. That is now pointed up in the air. So I can drop that down that way. And then we've got the 2 bolts at the front here, one here, so just nip that one up, nip this one up as well. So there's 4 main bolts for the straps, for the 2 straps, which you're going to have to take. I unslackened the ones off the other end and then took these 2 out. Obviously make sure you are supporting everything properly. There's one here which is just sort of in the middle of the tank on this side. Runs up into the chassis rail. There. And then there is one here at the front for the filler. Like that. So our tank is now mounted back up. And now we can get rid of some of these supports. And I'll show you the bolts. So there's one bolt. There's another. Then you come to the front of the tank. You got one there and one there, and then like I said, there's one in the middle just there, and then one on the filler neck that I just slackened off just so I didn't strain the filler neck in order to lower it down. So now, as you can see, that would be quite awkward to get your hands in there, let alone to press those tabs down. And what I mean by the tabs is on the old cable, you see you have these tabs and you have to push them down and then pull the cable out, and that's both ends. So you've got those 2 tabs you have to push down to pull it out. That would be awkward either end, to be entirely honest, but it's even more awkward when there's a fuel tank up there. So now I did take this heat shield out up here to allow access to this. You don't need to do that, but it does make it easier, and it does make it slightly better for filming purposes for you guys. because you can actually see something of what's going on. So, now we've got that far. The cable obviously comes round and goes up into the back of here. So you come here and it obviously goes into the back of the caliper. So what we do is go through there like that, and then this will push up into there, and obviously you've got this hook here that it needs to go into. Well, we will now try and put these in. Right, so that end's back in. Now, underneath, you have these, which just hold the cable and stop it from moving around. So this one here, it's just like a stake thing, and it goes in the axle just up here. And if we move the light so you can see how this works, this one goes in like that, and it's kind of a, you can either hook it over, or it doesn't, yeah, it's still awkward and fiddly no matter what you do, to be honest. But that hooks in there, and if you haven't got, if these rot off, which they will do as they get older, if yours has rotted off, cable ties will work, to be fair. So you can always go with the old cable tie mod. I'm going to try and do that the other way around, because dirt face. Oh, there it is. There it is, like that. So that comes through there like that, and then goes through that one there. Now, this larger one, and this is the reason I took the heat shield out, goes up here. So this one holds it on this corner here. So yet again, hook it over, and then it just springs into that hole up there. Don't know if you can actually see that, but we'll take you up here and show you. So there it is, holding the cable, and then that just holds the cable. And then there's one more over here. There, which just pops in like that. There we go. So that is the cable in. Now, I have put the cable in this section here as well. Moving on up. There we go. So that's already in there. You might say, how do you get that in there? Well, the answer is same sort of clips. Push it in like that. If they don't seat all the way, it's not a problem. Pull the handbrake on, it'll seat. And then you've got this bracket up here. That's it. Cable's in. It's that simple. Now, obviously, we've got to put this heat shield back in. Now, what I'm going to do is go up a little and readjust you, and then we'll... So, here's the heat shield going in here. And here it is down here. So, this is the actual heat shield itself. So, what we've got to do is come the back of here, sort of roll it around the top. Like that. Go up there like that. they do bend quite well, so you don't have to be overly sensitive with them. And then obviously this section, now I'll go back up. Now it's basically held on with these, and you use the socket on those. Just push this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and just put all these on. There are quite a few all over the place. So they're all just vaguely screwed on. Now what we do is we take a massive 24mm socket, like that. And just do them up, just so that they're nipped. Really don't take much force. I won't handle much force either. Just go around, do all these up like this, and we put our wheel back on, and then we just get to check and adjust our handbrake. So now we just get to throw the wheel back on. This. The old nut runner, which is over there. Just nip these down. Like that. Now we can try the handbrake. So we're going to let it down. And if we did it properly, that wheel now doesn't turn. Yes. Now it should. Beautiful. Check the other side. One handbrake fixed. So, one more thing to fix on this van, and we're done. Now obviously do check that your handbrake cable is running clear of everything and there is nothing that is going to trap it. There's a look down the side of the heat shield at those little fasteners there that hold it up. I just went this far because it means all this will dangle down a bit and allow you to rotate that out without bending it too much. I have tried the handbrake again and decided that it is a little bit on the tight side. That is to say that it's not, when you pull the handbrake up, it just feels quite low when it engages. And that is obviously set by this cable that I said back here. So we're just going to undo that a few turns. There we go. And that'll make the handbrake a little bit higher, so that people don't feel like they're trying to pull it up off the floor. So we'll just come in here, try this handbrake. There we go. That's plenty. That's beautiful. So obviously showed you the part number. This is obviously for the right hand side. Left hand side I'd imagine is probably the same cable. I doubt they'll be handed. So if you've got a problem with your handbrake, check the cable, see if that's moving. If it's not, that'll be a problem. So I hope you found that interesting, entertaining, slightly informative, any of the above, or maybe something else. Let me know down below what you thought. Give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.